ants alone comprise about 20% of the entire animal biomass on land, totaling about 20 quadrillion. They outweigh all mammals and birds on Earth combined.
I feel like we're on like Discovery Kids or something.
No shit.
Well,
Yeah,
fact
like,
of the day.
That's like a blurb that would pop up on like Animal Planet. Yeah, that's
Fun
fucking crazy.
animal
I found
facts.
that very interesting. I thought that was like also very fucking terrifying.
The thing I heard was there's like the same amount of weight as people as ants.
Well, that's mammals, so I would assume us included.
Fair.
Imagine if they all
With like elephants and fucking all like birds and like everything else.
Imagine if mushrooms figured out a way to take over ants, and then they fucking
have them do like their bidding for them.
Because
isn't that what they do? Like that fucking
they have
parasite thing.
they do that with trees and stuff. I think.
Bro, you want to
they,
hear
like,
some
go to
fucked
the
up
top
shit?
And fucking like explode out their head.
Mm-hmm.
I heard birds start like yes. But what came first? But no. Birds start chirping 30 minutes before the sun comes up. And that's because the birds chirping is a certain frequency that opens up the plants to be able to take in the sunlight.
And the more the plants can take in the sunlight, the more good stuff it brings for the birds. Is that the idea?
So like
Yeah, or just
Maybe it brings more bugs there, and then
Maybe.
they eat the
Yeah,
bugs.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess if the plants are bigger, then more stuff
I
can
love that
inhabit the
part
plants. But isn't that crazy?
In Record of Ragnarok, that part I love with the samurai when he fights Poseidon, when he goes out into the woods to learn how to like fight, because dojo life's not for him.
Yeah.
He goes out into the woods to learn how to fight, and he's like watching a fucking frog and a snake fight each other, and then as the snake strikes the frog, a fucking bird comes down and takes the snake, and he's like,
The circle of life.
that's how you find an opening. Hunter x Hunter does the same thing, where he's like, how could I catch a bird with a fishing pole? And he's like, if I know where the bird will be when it attacks the fish. And he's like, well, how will I know that? And he watches the flies going above the water, and he's like, well, that's where the fish will be, because the fish come up, eat the fly.
Yeah.
Bird comes down, catches the fish.
And why are the flies there?
Well, he didn't need to. If he was going for the flies, then he would need to know why the flies were there.
Yeah.
He needed the middle thing.
Yeah. He's not going far enough down the rabbit hole.
He went far enough for his needs. You got Hisoka's badge. It means nothing to you.
So you're saying if I play a soundtrack of birds chirping, my plants will open up more?
Maybe. I don't know. That's what this video I watched told me.
You gotta test this.
I just thought it was
out.
crazy that like the frequency that the bird
Gonna
makes.
have like a speaker.
Just right next to it.
You're gonna have now that's what you have to do. You have to do a test. You have to have one room of your house you're growing a tomato plant without birds chirping. The other room of the house you put a bird chirp. Yeah, all it gets is smooth jazz and metal.
And metal?
Yeah, Norwegian black metal. The other plant gets birds chirping 30 minutes before your
up
light
30
turns
minutes
on.
before the sunrise.
Of course.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day.
If you're not watching the sunrise every day, what are you doing?
There is that weird shit though with like you ever hear like if you like talk to your plants they grow better?
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Plants
They
are wild.
alive.
Plants are wild.
People
man.
like read books to their plants.
That'll be me soon.
Yeah. All right, folks, everyone gather round. His library is just he has like stadium seating for his potted plants.
His fake plants.
You can't have real plants in the library. Get too humid.
That is true.
Get a
Atomics need a
dehumidifier
dry
in there.
condition. Kill the plants.
You know what?
Torture them.
It's a delicate ecosystem.
Zach, are you saying that we should kill all the plants? Is that what you're saying?
That's what we're hearing.
There's a lot of people.
Now,
There's a lot of creatures that should be killed, yeah.
well, let's probe deeper into that.
Plants aren't usually one of them.
Okay.
Poison ivy can go fuck off.
For real.
Yeah,
Never had
poison
it,
oak.
but I mean, yeah.
I
just
think I'm
all that.
immune.
Yeah.
Really? Have you tested that theory?
No, but I've been rooting around the bushes looking for disc golf discs a lot. Like just deep in there looking for my shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I've yet to come out. Like I don't know. I'm convinced I'm immune.
I'll isolate that audio. I've yet to come out.
I've yet to come out. There's your title, fuckers.
But in the next year or so, I think I'm going to break the news to Christian.
No, I haven't tested this theory. Are there test kits you can buy?
Yeah. I mean, you can just go to a
poison
doctor
ivy.
and shit.
I can just go to
frick you.
just go to the woods where there's poison ivy and roll in it.
Yeah, I mean, that works
loser.
too.
Like a man.
Yeah. Bro,
How'd you tell if you were immune? I rubbed my dick on
I
it.
did some field tests.
Field
Went out in
tests.
the woods for a few hours, went looking for it, then I found it, and I just fucking rolled in it.
I fucking got after
Fucked
it. Yeah.
What were we saying?
Oh. It's crazy how grass won, like, as a plant.
Grass?
Yeah. Like, it kind of won.
How it has like
Depending on where you're at.
most demographics like taking care
Not
of it.
the hood.
Rainforest, though.
They still have it. It's just like big tall grass.
In the
Fern.
rainforest?
Not the I mean, I'm just saying, like, I
Hold
get
on.
not everywhere has grass, but, like,
Everywhere's got the tall grass.
China
Even
has,
in-
like,
even in
grass
the
fields.
savannah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's like miles of grass.
Have you ever seen a sod farm? You ever see that?
It sounds like something you would like.
Dude, it's
It was a
fucking
Home Depot.
Oh,
It's
the
just-
fucking just
It's just
grass.
acres and
Just
acres
grass,
and
yeah.
acres
like
of just
perfect grass.
of just perfect lawn.
That's what this shit in China was
I get a
like.
hard dick looking at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll jerk off on it. I wouldn't, but
Not on it.
not on it. No,
Disrespectful.
near
Come
it
on.
maybe. But
In his presence.
No, it's-
while it's
it's-
watching.
it's beautiful.
I fucking hate grass. It's
Really?
very
Oh, it makes me itch.
well, like just having grass in my front
Yeah,
yard is
I'm-
just
I have
fucking
terrible
stupid
skin.
to me.
Yeah, it's
Like,
dumb.
It's just
Backyard, maybe.
backyard makes sense. It's
Yeah.
like applicable and shit.
But front yard.
Front yard, no. Like I either want gravel, I want to do nothing, or I want a fucking garden or something. Like if I want fucking like tomatoes and fucking pumpkins. Or
You're
like
doing
whatever the
like
fuck
wild. What's your
Crops.
plan? Man, just gonna let it go.
Oh, that would be cool, too, if I had just tall grass in
Hey.
my backyard.
Let it go.
If I just had, like, a pathway from, like, the gate to the back walkway or whatever, and everything else was just...
fucking bamboo forest, but fucking tall grass.
How sick
Bamboo
would
would be
that be?
cool. Bamboo would be cool.
I just grew up.
If you had
It's so
like,
funny,
a,
like
if
a
you had
good
your
thing.
fence, but then just a thick border of bamboo
Bamboo.
around your backyard, and then like little chutes with pathways in between.
That would be.
That
Bamboo
ends
fence would
that
be
ends
nice.
up into like a circle part in the middle with like a
Could you grow bamboo here?
I don't know.
I don't know if we have the climate conditions
Yeah,
for
No,
it.
we don't
it's
have
too
pandas.
cold. That's true. Damn, if we had pandas, so we need to get a panda,
That's the issue.
and
Those
then
are
we can
only
get
found in
bamboo.
Asia.
You can only rent them.
Yeah.
You can't buy them.
No, really.
All the pandas in the world are on loan from China.
No shit. They own all the pandas. And they
That's
say-
a fact I
they say-
read and never
they say-
verified,
They say
but
slavery's still fucking. It's bullshit. That's wild.
that slavery is just real still.
Yeah.
Just Chinese people own Africans to make
And
to mine
pandas.
cobalt.
Yeah,
Dude, that's all those videos coming out of that dude on Rogan. Of like, he put that video up and he was like, this is the bottom of your supply chain for your iPhone, your Android phone, your computer, your Mac, any bullshit you fucking own. This is what it, and it's just a pit where like they're not supposed to have any workers. Like they're supposed to be all geared up and shit or using machinery because this shit's toxic. It is shoulder to shoulder, people swinging pickaxes, just trying to make a living.
Like to death.
Yeah, like they fucking die, they cart them out, and they go, next.
Yeah.
More people come in. It's fucked up. They don't pay them shit.
Well, like, there's no other fucking jobs out there
Yeah.
or whatever, and like, that's probably the best.
But that's the
paying
thing.
job.
If that's only the job, why wouldn't these big tech companies?
Who, when they want to run their fucking ads, are all like,
Yeah.
we care about this and that. It's like,
But they
oh,
don't
you
care
care about like diversity
they
in
don't care
this
about
country or
dick
whatever.
other
yeah.
than their fucking bottom line. So why wouldn't they
Or
send?
optics.
Yeah, why wouldn't they send like some of that money down to the bottom of their supply chain just to get people gas masks or some fucking
Especially when so
proper
much of it is
equipment,
like,
just some PPE, something.
because they're pieces of shit.
well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like you're paying people cheap on every level. It's like you're charging out the ass for the phone or the end product or whatever. It's like, it's not like you're paying those people so low so you can make the phone cheaper or something. Like, the phone's going to cost $1 gazillion regardless.
It's going to be a fuck ton of money regardless.
So it just turns your like profit margin or whatever. How much of the money you're bringing in goes like to me and my table, and how much goes to like the people dying.
But then you look at it and it's like, what companies have the most money? It's all tech companies. Like Apple, fucking Google, all these other companies.
All that little ass shit that they're charging thousands of dollars
for. That's
for.
what it is. Yeah. I don't know. It's fucked up.
It's wild, bro. But I mean, at the same time, there are good tech companies like fucking like Nintendo, like that dude. I keep seeing that thing where it pops up. When the Wii U bombed, he like took a huge salary cut. He took like a massive fucking salary cut.
Oh, that's just like Japanese fucking ethics.
Instead of like fucking blaming his employee, like just like a decent fucking person.
Just like, oh shit, I fucked up.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lay off half this fucking company.
Yeah.
Like
I would fit in over there, I think.
Where, in Asia?
Based
Japan?
on that, yeah.
Probably.
Where people wouldn't be like, no, stop. They'd be like, yes, you did in fact fuck up on that one. Fuck.
I could see you living in like one of those houses with like paper walls.
That's
the dream.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, I could see you living in that.
Kenichi has stone outer walls, fucking like 8-10 feet high, and then home paper walls within the garden.
Because you're not getting through the first wall.
Listen, Apachai's out there.
Oh yeah, if you're getting.
I read something crazy. I read something crazy in those old Japanese homes. They would, I guess, like more like rich people or whatever. They would make their floors all fucked up to where when you walked on the boards would drop a little bit and they would rub against metal so that all the hallways would squeak. And that was to prevent ninjas.
Intruders,
yeah. Sneaking up on you because they can't sneak around at all. But rickety, 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 rickety.
Oh, I was listening to a thing about World War II with the Japanese where they would, I forget what they called them, but they would basically do like
awful shit. The Japanese in World War II.
Yeah.
Awful shit.
Yeah. They'd basically like kamikaze, but like on the ground, just with like a group of people.
Really?
They would like send like 50 guys at, like, even if they had like no weapons, they'd be like, charge them. And it got to the point where, like, I guess Americans didn't even, like, they felt bad about it because they knew, like, the guys were just throwing their lives away. So it wasn't, like, versus. Yeah. It was just, like, executing them as they're, like, running at you.
Yeah.
And the Japanese did it just to, like, mind fuck us.
Yeah.
Where it's, like,
fucking
we
masters.
literally, like, do not care.
Yeah.
Like, we're about this fucking life.
Yeah. Like, go ahead, motherfucker.
Which I get doing, like,
we've been doing this
as
shit
propaganda.
for centuries. Yeah.
But to actually be, like, just burning numbers.
Yeah.
And I mean, your own, like, what do you call it? Like, goodwill or, like, morale,
Yeah.
I guess would be a better word.
Do you think any kamikaze, like, I guess if you do it with
Just kept flying.
Or just, like, no, I wonder if, like, any kamikaze people were just, like they missed the boat or some shit. And, like,
they just land in the water and
you imagine?
explode.
1000%.
Yeah, or just, like,
yeah, for sure.
That happened.
either that or just, or, like, they live. And then it's like, oh, fuck.
Well, then they kill themselves.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that is
Yeah,
true. It's like,
that's-
oh, you were a
that's
kamikaze
sad.
pilot, but you lived. How the fuck did that happen?
That's the Sunny episode. No, a curb.
Yeah.
There's a curb
yeah.
on that.
Come on.
Bro,
Yeah.
everything this guy says, I'm like, Seinfeld, curb.
This fucking
full
Larry
episode
David
dedicated.
has done it.
Yeah,
This fucking Larry David guy is onto something.
bro.
We got to get with him.
His last season
That's-
of Curb coming out soon.
Really?
Old man.
They're just
He's
like
the goat.
Like the planes coming in, and he's like, fuck that.
Yeah, just strong veer.
Yeah. That's wild.
I remember they only got like so much gas, so it's like you can't go back. But it's like, could you imagine if they didn't give you enough gas? It's like,
Oh.
no, I want to hit it. It's
Yeah.
like, no.
I would think
My
they-
family's honor.
I would think they would fill them up because it'd be more of an explosion.
Come on, man. Times are tight.
Hey,
Times are if you know that this thing, like, it's not gonna burn all the gas.
There's
it's
plenty
like,
of gas on the ship.
you want to hear something crazy I heard about World War II, or that happened during World War II about like coffee breaks and like just
6 million seems like a lot, no?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was leading into. The smokestacks weren't the fucking. It's impossible.
You tell me how a chimney that size is supposed to account for that many bodies. Come on.
Wrong.
It's my favorite bad take.
No, it's terrible. Bring that up like somewhere. Just be like, 6 million is a lot.
It seems
And
high.
just watch the heads turn. We don't believe this.
No.
This is where
That's like
we
flat
talk-
Earth to me. It's
we
like
we talk
it's like a
lot of
funny
shit.
bit, like where it's like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
There's too many good conspiracies that have like things about them to just be like, I don't know about this one. Like,
I don't know about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
No, it wasn't leading to that. No, I heard that during World War II, the like the coffee break and like giving like workers breaks became more popular because when all the men went away to the war effort, there was this tie company they hired all these women to make all these ties, and they were able to make them really efficiently, but only for like 4 hours. And then they pulled them aside and they were like, "What do you want? Like how would your efficiency go up?" And they were like, "Well, what if we get
higher men.
like a break in the beginning?" And she was like, "What if we get a break in the beginning, like just a coffee tea break, and then we get one midday, and then whatever." Productivity went up exponentially overnight. So then this guy broke it down. He was like, "Companies aren't giving you a break because they're like, hey, you're working hard, blah blah blah. They're giving you a break to consume a drug, caffeine,
yeah.
to sit and relax for a minute,
Recharge.
and then be all hopped up on the caffeine to then go, you know what? I'm happy here. I'm going to go back to work.
I got that second win.
And then be more efficient. So it's not like that the company appreciates you and that they're like, you know what? You're working hard. We're going to give you a break. They just want to extract the most value out of you as possible.
That's also probably an American thing, though, because, like...
It started in America. That's what they were saying.
Someone was saying how,
I believe.
during...
Could be wrong.
I guess, like, once we broke off of England, we were like, well, fuck tea, obviously. And we went, like, hardcore into coffee.
Yeah.
And,
How funny is that?
I love it. Anything spiteful like that, I'm like, agree.
I saw
Like,
a video of some dude in England. He was, like, sitting on, like, a bridge in front of, like, Big Ben. And he has a cup of tea, and he's like, this one's for Boston. He just dumps it off the bridge. And you see, like, people around him are just, like, turning around, like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
damn.
He's wearing, like, an American flag hat. This one's for Boston.
If you had a Red Sox hat on, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Celtics jersey.
I guess that was a part of the, that was like a, what's his name? Jack, guy you do an impression of?
Jack Black.
No.
Jack Dempsey.
Neither.
Jack White?
Nicholson. The guy you do an impression of. Fuck.
You red bastard.
I guess part of his contract in The Departed was that, like, he couldn't get like, wardrobe design. Like, he just got to wear all his own clothes, all his own, like, Patriots and Celtics gear.
That would explain a lot, because he dressed like a fucking madman during that movie.
Yeah.
It's like
He, like, got cut off Notre Dame sweatshirts and shit.
It's like my dad fucking got dressed in the dark
To
or
work
something.
out, yeah.
It's crazy. I love the story of him and Adam Sandler. What games do they go to? Lakers?
Yeah.
They go to, like, the Lakers games. And
Nicholson was, like,
yeah.
every game.
Yeah, so, like, I guess Nicholson took Adam Sandler with him, and they were just, like, sitting on courtside, and they're sitting there. And the Lakers are losing. And he's like, come on, we got to go. And he, like, taps Adam, and he's like, oh, hold on. And he's like, listen. We're down by 12. They got to make 12 points without the other team making points. We're leaving. We're going. And he was like, all right. So he stood up, and they started walking away, and he said, as they're walking away, you saw the whole team turn around and go, Jack, no. We're sorry.
Damn.
That's so sad.
No.
That is rough as fuck.
We're sorry.
He's one of the
Biggest
boys.
fan.
Yeah. He was hyped for Kobe's last game. I remember that. They cut to him a few times. And Kobe went off for fucking 62 or something.
Really?
The game was...
Whoa.
Yeah. Do you know, like, the circumstance of that game?
No.
The Lakers had a dog shit season, and we're not going to the playoffs. This was for sure Kobe's last game. There was nothing to play for. The team should be, like, resting players and, like, doesn't matter. The team they're playing needs to win this game to get to the playoffs. This very much matters to them.
Yeah. and Kobe was
So now this game kind of fucking matters, you know?
yeah.
And
Because he would be preventing them from going further.
And Kobe's that kind of guy.
And he's like, watch me score 68 points.
Bro, Shaq shows up to the game. He goes, I need 50 from you. And I guess he had said it to him before, like, jokingly. And then this time he said it to him, like, on the court. And he's like, I need 50 from you.
I need at least 50 points.
And the team was, like, all young guns who, like, grew up watching fucking Kobe Bryant. So every time they touch the ball, they're like, there you go.
Kobe!
Like, it's very cool to watch.
Is that the most points anybody scored?
No, Kobe has the most points scored in the modern era, which is, I believe, 81.
81?
He scored against the Toronto Raptors.
The fuck?
The most points scored ever, I think, is 100 or 101, whatever Wilt got back in the day.
Did he just
when he's holding up that piece of paper?
Did he just get every shot? Like
Wilt Chamberlain was like born like 100 years too early. Like he doesn't even make sense standing amongst men back then. Yeah, it's disgusting.
That's wild.
He's like he was better in other sports than he was at basketball also, like long jumping and like all those types of things. He like demolished people in.
Really?
Yeah, like all those track and field things.
Just an athletic phenomenon.
Fucking ridiculous.
That's wild. That's like was it Bo Jackson? Is
Yeah.
that another one?
Yeah.
Freak.
Bo Jackson.
Love Bo.
You guys,
Boldy James has that album called Bo Jackson.
have you guys seen any of the clips of Deion Sanders coaching college football?
No.
It's very funny. Deion Sanders was like a star in the NFL back in the day, and he's coaching college now, and it's just he's just like his nickname was Prime, so he's Coach Prime, and he's just decked out in like the most baller like velour tracksuits every day, and he's just like dispensing wisdom on these fools. I don't know. He has like good rules, but I can't think of any like good quote right now. But he like bitched someone out or bitched the locker room out. He's like, "We don't have no phones in here." Because we're ready to play the game. Like, he's just fucking going off like, we're not on our phones talking to our fucking girlfriends on the fucking TikTok. Like,
Fuck TikTok.
Dude, I love the videos of like football players getting hyped in the locker room.
Oh.
I saw a video of, I don't even know his name. Henderson? Is that a guy? Big black dude?
Sure,
I don't know.
probably.
Sure, I don't know. Maybe. He's like talking
In
to
the NFL history, yeah.
he's
that's
talking to
probably.
like the athletic coordinator who coach or whatever, and he's like this tall. On
Yeah, oh yeah.
right. They're tiny, and he's like, "Come on, hit me, John!" And he goes, "That's not good enough, John. Fucking hit me!" And he goes, fucking smacks the shit out of him. And he goes, "God damn, I got blood coming out of my motherfucking mouth."
Oh my god.
That's right. When you hit a motherfucker, you make them bleed. As this man's walking out of the tunnel, screaming, "I'm gonna fucking kill these people," just getting hyped. And I'm like, dude, now this man's gonna go and just like, I don't know, just fucking murder someone.
Probably fresh off the smelling salts.
Yeah. Oh, probably that shit. I want to try that shit.
Yeah, we should do that's a thing people were doing on pods
I saw
for a
that,
minute.
yeah.
We probably waited long enough where it's not tacky.
Cliche.
Yeah.
Why?
I think there was like
I think
some
Rogan's.
new brand of it, like Juju's smelling salts or something. Because I haven't heard of them in forever.
Did you see
I haven't seen anyone use them.
I see people do it when they lift.
Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, that's probably what it's for.
Did you see Rogan do it to
He's doing it to everyone for a
yeah,
minute.
he did it to
It's like, here, get it.
Theo Von.
What?
He did it to Theo Von.
Von's like, let me get that again.
he goes, Theo Von hits it and goes, "Ugh." One more time.
As a sober man, he's like, that's like the closest thing you can get to a little something. He's like, let's see if I can get that.
I saw some clip of him and he was like, my favorite strain of weed was cocaine.
Theo's tremendous.
No, he's so fucking funny. He's one of those guys that just like he doesn't like he probably knows he's being funny because he's a comedian, but
By
like
now, yeah, but I'm
like,
sure at first.
he's just fucking talking.
Well, at
Like,
first he was on like a reality show, and he was just like
Really?
funny as fuck. There's some show called Road Rules, like some MTV like put 6 people in a car or like one of those type deals. Bro, I saw some
And it just
commercial.
came out of that.
these 40
Yeah.
people are living in this mansion in Malibu. And
Tom Segura's
everyone's-
wife was on that too.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I could not imagine her on that.
I guess it's just like a long as fuck time ago. They were all like 18 at
Trying
the
to
time,
get shit done, trying to do something.
trying to get to Hollywood or whatever, get their name out there.
We got to get to Hollywood.
So I think they became comedians like out
Let's
of
go
that.
on Real World, guys.
Mad real.
Nah, we're gonna have our own. Watch the reality show coming out soon.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. Dim, ba-dim, ba.
What is going on?
What is going on? What is happening? No, so I watched a fucking documentary.
Yeah, when you hit us with your deep state.
I watched the documentary. Tubi, for all you folks listening, Tubi's got the hookup. I don't know if China is sponsoring them or it's sponsored by Russia, but
They have such an odd collection of movies, too. It's
know-
like all the most Z-list things
Yeah.
you've never heard of, and then also like, oh, here's a movie that is good and has never been on Netflix or anything. It's weird.
I love it though.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause I'll find shit all
Yeah,
the time
there
on
was,
Tubi.
I think Employee of the Month or something. I was like, oh,
Yeah, like,
I like
I'll
those,
watch this.
yeah.
I haven't seen this in a hot minute.
you know what
Yeah.
another weird thing they do is? They have a category section, but it changes, and they only put like 20 of them up there. So some like I just
yeah,
go,
I did notice I couldn't find
I just go on there for documentaries, and
of
there's
a specific variety.
which they're all the same. It's all you have endless content of deep dark web, fucking deep state,
Dark web.
whatever the fuck you need. It's on Tubi, but sometimes the documentary tab ain't there, and when you search documentary, nothing comes up, and it's like, where the fuck's this shit going?
Yeah,
But
lame.
so I got a little fucked up one night. I watched Above Top Secret: The Technology Behind Disclosure. It basically follows this dude, Dr. Stephen Greer, who was like,
Yeah, he's the dude that says he has that little alien, right? That he found, like the little dead body alien.
no,
I think it is.
I mean maybe he didn't talk about it in this one,
Fair.
but he's the dude who in like the 90s during like the Clinton administration was trying to get like
Looks like-
disclosure of
He looks like American Graham Hancock, who's
Look him up.
strong, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Is that the guy?
yeah.
It's
Oh, okay.
strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he looks yoked.
Yeah.
He's like a surgeon, like a heart surgeon or some shit. But he was trying to like get the disclosure of all this technology and stuff from the Clinton administration, just like about like UFOs and all this shit. But he has this.
He's been on Rogan, I think.
Has he?
Back in the Dizzy, yeah.
Yeah, probably a while ago. Yeah, I haven't seen that recently.
I think in like the first studio, I want to say.
Really?
Yeah.
We're in the bedroom? Or no, studio. I got you.
actual studio. but the-
We're in
Yeah.
the bedroom, sitting
in
on the
guest
bed.
room. Yeah.
But he's saying that the crafts from Roswell were recovered and they were back engineered, and technology
Facts.
Basically, technology is at a standstill right now. Like 50 years ago, a flight from New York to LA was what, 5 hours? Today it's still 5 hours.
Hey, 70 years ago, allegedly we went to the moon. Haven't been able
How's
to do
that?
that
How's
since.
that possible? How do we go to the moon, but we don't shorten the time for like continental travel? We don't shorten the time for people like this shit that happens constantly.
Still got old ass planes, still fucking ashtrays in the fucking arms.
That's the thing where it's like how does technology stop after the fucking nuke? Like the nuke goes off and it's like like slow the fuck down.
Also, after the nuke happened is when increase in UFOs happened. So
Yeah. So building on that, he's saying, and then they had all these other people from like ex-FBI, ex-CIA, they had like ex-military of people who were in these programs or whatever, and they're saying that the government has been reverse engineering all these UFOs from Roswell and all the other spots that they find them. They reverse engineering the Tic Tac, the Tic Tac thing. That's us. That's our shit that we're flying around because we have access to this higher technology. So that's us going around.
the Bob Lazar vehicles.
Basically, all of this stuff. Maybe Bob Lazar was working on the real ones, and they were back at reverse engineering because that was what 40 years ago, 50 years ago, whatever that was.
80s, yeah. I think.
Yeah. So maybe that was all building up to this Tic Tac and like all these other things that they're finding. So right now they're like disclosing all this shit that's like, we don't know what this stuff is. There's alien lives out there. Well, they haven't like explicitly said that, but they're like, there's UFOs flying around. We don't know what the fuck they are. They bring these pilots and these people onto the media and they say, yeah, I saw this thing. I didn't know what it was, blah, 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 blah. But everything, all they talk about is it's a threat to national security. Is this a threat to national security? What is this? What is happening? This is a threat to national security. Because those people work for these bureaucrats that are controlling
I get to pump
the
the
government.
budgets up.
So it's building to this. The media, they said a cool thing. The media are scribes working for the king, basically. Like so the media has a script of questions they're going to ask this person that they're interviewing who sees this thing. They both work for the same person, so they're basically interviewing. The people up here are creating this interview to warp the narrative for us to think that these UFOs are a threat to us and that we need to protect ourselves from this threat, from this extraterrestrial threat. So that's where the budgets are going to get bumped up. Space Force started. I have the Space Force recruiting video. Watch this fucking shit. It's basically a propaganda video.
I love the military ones that are like Call of Duty. And then
Bro.
at the end, it's like U.S. Army. And you're like, what the fuck?
Listen to what this guy says.
You know, space is hard. It used to be all we had to worry about was astrophysics, Kepler's law, gamma rays, solar flares, rocket science, black holes, and the theory of relativity. But now we also track about 30,000 objects, orbiting at over 17,500 miles an hour. And our entire way of life depends on us to protect our satellites from attack day and night. So yeah, space is hard.
Guardians wants it.
Space is hard is such a terrible tagline and opening line. Like, space is hard. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
So
know,
what
I
they're
hate that.
So they
no ring to
released
it.
these videos saying that there's threats in space. They're seeing all
Listen,
this
I'll
stuff.
join Space Force.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
I'll
also,
I'm not against it. I'll totally do
Before
it.
we move on.
they also put up a bunch of space debris, but I mean, shit's layered. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. But
Be a guardian.
they're putting all of these. They're trying to.
A savior.
Basically, what they're saying is they're trying to change the narrative that these UFOs are a threat in order to boost the defense budget, boost the black budget, do all of this stuff so that we will be on board for them to spend all of our money to go over here. And then what they start saying is pretty soon we're going to see a invasion, which is going to be a type of exactly
False flag.
exactly what they did during 9/11. What happened? Nobody was supporting the war effort. Nobody wanted to go to Iraq because they didn't we didn't give a shit about any of that stuff. And then 2 planes crash into a building, and then overnight people are chanting USA, USA. They got full support of the American people to
Cut
go to
those fucking...
to go to Iraq, a country that had nothing to do with it, just to get on the oil fields and to get Saddam out of power
Get
to
those
then
poppy
do whatever the
fields.
fuck else they wanted to do. So they're going to do the exact same thing where maybe something like a Tic Tac or something like that is going to raise fucking havoc, fucking some shit's going to go down, and then everybody's going to go, holy fuck, there's shit out there. We need help from the government. We need this budget to be up higher. We need space for it. We need this. We need all this weapon systems in space to protect us from the alien threat when we're the people doing it. Just to lock down control and all of this other shit.
It's going to be so cool in the future when, like, Joe Rogan's show is, like, historical, like, this is where Bob Lazar told his story, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be, like, such a treasure trove of actual shit.
But isn't that like fucking, isn't that scary? Isn't that fucked up?
Especially when, as America continues to, like, release an unclassified documents, and they continue to be like, oh, yeah, we have done shit like this before.
Yeah.
It's not, like, outlandish to
Yeah.
think that they would
Like-
do it. It's like, yeah, that's kind of in our playbook to do.
Like,
yeah.
Like wait for fucking 40 years when they declassify the 9/11 shit. We're gonna see the same exact thing with Kennedy, and no one's gonna give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the exact fucking thing, and that's because history repeats itself. It's gonna be the exact same fucking thing. I don't know. It's fucking. It was. I was.
You
in
get sad.
I was in a fucking hole, just like
You enter despair.
Christian fucking freaking out. I was sitting there. I'm like, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna get these people interviewed.
I feel bad when it's the three of us and you get something going, and then I'm like, well, that's probably a wrap on things, and I can just feel us, like, fucking circling the drain.
Side,
just like-
side notes. You want to hear some other shit that was brought up in that documentary?
Do I ever?
Do I ever? That was basically the main thing, that the government suppresses tech. That's what this whole documentary is saying. That, like, the government suppresses this technology. We have access to this thing every single year.
Which is pretty, like, well known in
Yeah.
a loose sense.
Yeah.
Like, They're always kind of like however many years ahead of us.
So what he's saying is every single year that we go by, that we see growth in technology, like, oh, the new iPhone came out, has a better camera, blah, blah, blah.
The new Madden came out.
Exactly. Every year that we experience a change in technology, behind that curtain is 40 years of advancement every single year. They're jumping 40 years fucking.
Oh, and that's back why engineering spaceships.
And that's why nothing, and he was saying that's why China doesn't want, that's why China hasn't launched a full-scale war. That's why there hasn't been a full-scale war, because they know that we have this shit.
Some guy on Rogan.
They know that we have access to these Tic Tacs that would just decimate, like one would decimate their entire Air Force fleet.
It's a big Air Force fleet.
I'm just saying, if when
it's a pretty good spaceship.
When something's able to move from here to the fucking moon in that, I mean,
I need to watch it, but some dude was on Rogan saying that China only has 10 years left. I was very interested in what his reasoning was.
Was it who's that one dude?
The longest fucking reigning empire.
I don't know if he meant like 10 years at the top or something, but
who's that one intelligence guy that is always on there?
Mike Baker.
Yeah, I love that dude. Was that guy?
No.
Oh.
I know you love that guy, though.
He's fucking great. Yeah. I love that. I showed him to my dad, and my dad was like, yes, he's right. Thank you. But,
man, speaking some sense.
So one thing that this Dr. Stephen Greer was doing, he was like in the spotlight forever trying to get all this shit out and try to get the government to disclose all this shit. And now he's kind of taking like the back foot, and he's like, listen, I'm done with this burden.
He's like Bob Lazar, where he's like, listen,
I'm putting it on.
I can't keep doing this.
He's like, I'm putting it on you guys. Apparently, he's doing interviews. He's going on shows, and he's doing shit. We should try getting him.
We do interviews. Yeah.
We should try getting him. Fucking
subscribe.
If you want to come out here,
see it.
But he was saying that he wrote up this company approached him who had like a wireless type of like wireless power, like free energy type thing, sort of like Tesla. Yeah, exactly. Okay. And they came to him and they asked him for help, and they were like, "How do we get this? How do we get this out without getting?"
So excited for the Randall Carlson.
Oh, it's gonna be great. How do we get this out without like injuring our? Like, how do we go about this and like get around the government and shit like that? And he basically wrote them a full thing, and he was like, "There's no way around like the beer like
there's no hope.
These companies have trillions of dollars into the coal industry, into the power grid that we already have. So to completely switch that, these companies would go out of business and people would lose trillions of dollars."
That's why when a man invents a water car, he gets found with his fucking two bullets in his head of suicide.
Stephen Meyer, was that his name? Stephen Meyer? Stanley Meyer.
Yeah,
but he basically tells him, he's like, there's no way to get around it. You have to fully open source everything, release everything you have, and do it for the good of humanity. That's what you have to do.
Like the people's polio vaccine.
Exactly. And look at, yeah, exactly.
Look at me.
And look at, and the guy goes, that team, it's a team of like 4 people or whatever. They go, no way, we want to be the next Rockefellers of power, blah, blah, blah. We want to make money off of this. We want to patent this. We want to do X, Y, Z. And he goes,
evil.
and he goes, well, okay, whatever. I tried to help you, blah, blah, blah. Months later, all 4 of them are found dead.
Oh my God.
And the technology they had is gone, and it's been suppressed. It's gone. Just because they didn't listen to this guy. Just because all people want is that fucking power.
Yeah.
When the only way to progress humanity is to shed that and just do shit for ourselves.
And it's like, obviously, you're not going to make as much money, but it's not like you release something like that and now you just continue to be broke. Like, someone's going to be like, can I pay you for that fucking brain that came up with this to come up with work on this shit?
He literally told him, he was like, you're going to release this and, like, you guys are going to be so, like, you're going to make money elsewhere.
Right.
Like doing this for the good of humanity is going to be the
just
best
on interviews,
thing.
Like that year of interview circuits or whatever will be money, because I'm sure I'll like talk shows and shit.
To make a book, bestseller,
make a fucking YouTube channel people subscribe to. Yeah.
To play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
To your
please do
the flight.
We're too one-sided. The flight time, yes. I saw your face when I said that.
The first flight was 1903.
Yeah.
We've come quite a long way since, like, the Wright brothers.
I agree.
How much further would you want them to go with, like, What do you mean, like an advancement in technology? Like we're still sending like fucking rockets to the moon using gas and shit.
We're sending, but what happened?
Like how?
When was the last time we sent a person to the moon? Not since the first time we did it, allegedly.
Keep sending people in space though.
He also
Not to the moon.
He also
Not
said
past that thing, that
Fuck no.
that field or whatever. That's tough to do. I don't know, man.
so. Like obviously from the Wright brothers to now, of course.
Why is everyone going to Mars, not the moon?
What's that subsonic aircraft? Can you look that up?
Subsonic?
It's the one that would go from here to. They stopped producing it like in the 90s, I think, or in the 80s. But
A plane?
yeah, it's a plane.
Aircraft.
Subsonic aircraft.
But basically they.
What more? What do you need?
What's the plane?
What are you
called?
looking for?
What's the plane called that they stopped making? The Condor.
Okay.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
I'll type that in now.
Type in Condor.
Condor.
Concorde.
The grapes.
British aircraft.
Yeah. You're able to go from. Yeah, that's it. They stopped doing that. That was the fastest commercial aircraft.
That's
I think.
commercial?
Yeah.
How many fucking people could you fit on that thing?
I think it wasn't many. It was
Looks
like
big.
60. It was like 60 or
Probably
70
bigger
people, I
than a
think.
jet.
It was a lot of money though. But you would get from New York to London in like 2 hours or
Right,
some
but
shit.
that's the thing. It's a lot of money.
But if that technology is available, why wouldn't they put
Like
that?
a cell phone used to be.
Why
a lot
wouldn't
of
they
money,
put
man.
that in a
That's
bigger
gone
aircraft?
down.
Why was that?
Why did Southwest not update their systems for fucking 30 years and have that shit crash?
That's
'Cause
what
it's
I'm
a lot of money.
But that's what I mean. Like
At the end
if
of
it's
the
a
day,
lot
it's
of money, the
based-
company's making a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
And if
This
these
just goes
tech-
back to what we were
and
saying
if these-
before. It's like, how much do you like reinvest back into the company versus how much do you fucking call
Right,
your
I
payday?
think, all right, so I feel
I
like
just
it's
think
more
it's- I just-
greed than like withholding technology.
Well, government's
but-
withholding technology. Companies are greed. Is I would think the split.
Probably, yeah, because I mean, they're both a company.
I don't think Southwest is like, we got jets that we're not telling you all about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Southwest is just worried about their bottom line or whatever. But
Yeah, they just got a greedy fucking suit at the top.
if
Fucking black, what do you call it in the government? Deep state.
deep state,
Yeah.
yeah.
But they can make a fast, like Southwest, if they really fucking wanted to.
Can they?
I'm sure they could go to Boeing and be like, hey, we want like the fastest fucking plane. Like, can you fucking like do something for us, Boeing? Or like.
Well, I guess it's just the demand. Like, until one person does it,
Until
none
the
of the
demand,
other ones
yeah,
have
no
to
one
do
gives a
it.
fuck.
So until that
Everyone's
one
like,
person
no,
steps
we're
up to
still
do it,
flying. Like, we don't give a shit. I'm still getting to point A to B a hell of a lot faster than a train or a car.
Yeah.
So, I mean, nobody gives a shit.
it's like when the iPhone came out. Like, every other phone had to now be a smartphone.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't no one was like pushing it there before. Or fucking Kodak's the best example, where it's like they made the digital camera
Yeah.
and they were like, well, we kind of got all these film things. It seems to be pretty good. Why push it? Like, they did it and we're like, let's put this thing in the fucking back room. Then someone else did it first and better, and now it's like they're behind the 8 ball or whatever.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's interesting that there hasn't been a progression in 50 years of the time it takes to get from this side of the country to that side of the country. For how many people fly and for how often people on business have to get from here to here. Why hasn't there been a progression in
I mean,
that.
there hasn't even been a progression in like fucking spacecrafts, though. Really, like
Yeah, there
rockets, like rockets to the moon. Like you're still using the same propulsion systems
But
and everything.
But with SpaceX, they don't have to completely destroy the entirety
Yeah,
of the
that one
aircraft.
rocket fucking landed, which
okay,
was
They
nuts.
that was
all the
crazy.
pieces
That
are
was fucking-
reusable. So,
that's
so now that's saving
That shit
them.
looked like you were just playing it in reverse, like it
Yeah.
taking off
yeah,
or something.
That was,
it looked
that was
crazy.
something.
So there is advancements there. We've
Power
landed
Rangers.
a rover on Mars that we can control with a fucking joystick from
want
here,
NASA to fucking do that shit now
which is apparently
NASA's really dropping the ball.
for real.
yeah.
They're
This
like
dude,
fools.
this dude
Thank you.
said, this dude said,
Thank you.
this dude said that.
Salute.
Yeah, thank you. This dude said that the Mars rover is how they're going to disclose alien life. They're going to say we found microbes on Mars. There's life there now. Blah blah blah. That's how they said they're going to do it.
Still want to go check out that dark side of the moon and shit.
I've become, after a 3-minute Joe Rogan clip, I'm very skeptical we were ever on the moon.
still.
I didn't realize we had never been back.
Yeah.
Like, no human has been, no other country. I thought when we go to space all the time, I thought people were going to the moon some of those times.
And why is that? Because they're watching us.
Oh, what would you
Buzz Aldrin. Buzz Aldrin full blown said.
I mean, what, we keep going to space. What do we do that for?
Because there's like shit in Mars and shit.
But
like,
wouldn't the
When
moon,
we go to the dark side of the moon, though?
but wouldn't the moon be
there's no life on the dark side of the moon.
Yeah, but we.
Theoretically.
But if people are talking about setting up bases on Mars or whatever,
But wouldn't
it's
the
like,
moon-
let's set up a base on the moon?
wouldn't the moon be
Halfway point.
wouldn't the moon be a good spot to set up a base, because all of that energy, all of that fuel that goes on the rocket is just to get us out of our gravity and our atmosphere.
Yeah.
If you're on the moon, you
Got a
could-
little launch pad.
if you chuck a rock hard enough, you could probably pop it into orbit. Yeah, so now if you bring all these materials to the moon, set up your other rocket.
You don't have a good enough arm to do that.
Well, I mean, let's. I used to be able to throw a football a quarter mile.
You're no Joe Montana.
Come on. But if you set up a base on the moon, you're basically, you have your all the heavy lifting is already done because you've left.
Did you
You
see
already
there's
left
an
your
idea
atmosphere.
that they're gonna make like a ladder or a rope or something
Yeah,
from the moon
a space
down?
space elevator.
Yeah.
What?
There's
Yeah. It sounds goofy,
there's
and then when
been
they
that
start
idea for a
explaining it, you're
while.
like, oh, that's not dumb.
Basically, if you I forget what it's called, but if you it's like an orbit lock, where basically,
I would
like,
throw the fuck up just thinking
if
about it.
if the Earth is spinning, satellites are spinning too, so nothing's locked in. But they can lock a satellite in to where when the Earth is spinning, the satellite's always in that same exact spot in the sky. So now, if you fucking put an elevator down, I don't know. I watched a video about that.
It's super
a
interesting.
couple years
but,
ago, I
like,
saw that.
That makes my stomach churn.
You imagine that elevator ride?
God.
Red Bull.
Red Bull. Dude, how about that one? Did you ever finish that one documentary? How'd you watch?
The one that started.
That starts really shitty?
No, I
Okay.
will. I'm sorry.
There's
It's
one.
so bad at first.
There-
You were right. I should have started at 40 minutes in. Sounded dumb.
40 minutes in.
Yeah, dude, it's
Jesus.
crazy. It's a 2-hour documentary. The first half.
It's barely
shit.
even like a documentary at first.
It's shit.
It's almost like the behind the scenes you would get on a DVD. They
I'll
were
tell you
like,
which
we'll
one
put
it is.
this up front. We'll lead with this.
What the fuck was it called?
It was a
called,
sequel
like-
also.
Yeah.
It was
I can't remember.
yeah, the first
I'll
40
find it.
minutes is them saying they were wrong in the first movie.
Yeah.
So it's like, sound cool.
Yeah. But in the second half of that documentary, they have an interview with, like, obviously Buzz Aldrin, and he was saying all that shit about the shit.
I love that, man.
He's great.
Fucking clocks that
Bro,
one,
I
dude.
did
But
get to
they
the
had-
part you were talking about with when they get back, and they were like, and you can tell the
Yeah, dude.
astronauts were
So-
not pleased after they had been like debriefed
So-
when they got back.
So there's audio of them, like, when they're on the moon, because there was no
You ever hear any of that?
visuals.
They're watching us. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. They're standing at the edge of the crater. Yep.
They're watching us.
Literally, like full blown.
Bro, it's
Really?
Buzz Aldrin or Neil Armstrong saying it, but he's like, "Yep, they're watching us. They're above us.
Yep,
They're hovering over
I can
us.
see 'em. Fucking panicking.
They're on the edge of the crater."
Like, you know when your
Yeah.
fucking chest gets tight when you're like, I shouldn't be here.
What?
Yeah, bro.
This is
They-
like men too, like
they said-
1960s fucking like
Yeah.
go to the moon.
It's the
fucking,
first man. I'm gonna step on the fucking moon. His voice is trembling.
Yep. I can see him.
Yep, they're coming up. They're watching us. Buzz Aldrin talking about obelisks, pyramids, and all this shit on the moon. Now,
And Mars.
and Mars, exactly.
Obelisk on Mars. He said.
And like, and
when
on
he got old.
and on the other moons and shit. There's other shit. But all this shit happens when the astronauts finally come back. The president and like all these fancy people like fucking meet him. They pull him on the boat. What's the first thing they do? They sign an NDA. You can't disclose anything you fucking saw today. Now, there's a press conference.
I'm gonna try to find it.
There's a press conference shortly after it where you could just see, like, this is the first human to walk on the moon. These are the first people to this is a monumental thing in fucking human history. And you see these men just defeated.
Yeah. Is it on there?
Yep.
At this time, I'd like
Yeah.
It was.
to introduce the Apollo 11 crew, astronauts Neil Armstrong, Michael
I have to
Collins,
skip forward a little
Edwin
bit.
Aldrin.
adventure. It's an adventure that took place not just in the month of July, but rather one that took place in the last decade. We all here and the people months and years.
I wish I knew where the part.
Pissed.
Yeah, look at these motherfuckers.
They're all look how
Pissed.
look at dude. They're
They
depressed.
just got that. They could have died. They should be pumped.
The details of that final month of July.
Choosing his words so precisely.
That was certainly the highlight for the three of us of that
God.
decade.
Look
This
at that.
motherfucker can't even
He's
pick his head up.
fucking, oh, he's just grinding.
This
his
motherfucker
teeth.
ready to knock a motherfucker out.
That interested us most,
He can't even fucking talk.
in particular the things that occurred on and about the moon. We will use a number of films and slides which most of you have already seen
How does the
And-
media already have it?
with the intent of pointing out some of the things that we observed
Yeah, how were they live
the
streaming from the
spot which
moon
may
in the
not-
70s
You can't.
to cable?
be obvious
Now-
to
here, pause for a
those
second.
of you who are
So I know they were all the stuff, all of the shots from the moon, and I know there's 1,000 conspiracies about this, but it makes sense. And like how like the light, the light would be different if it's coming through our atmosphere. You need millions of dollars and fucking these high-tech laser lights to reproduce the parallel shadows on all the other shit. I get all that, you fuckers. So don't bullshit me.
Let's not act like they didn't have millions.
This,
of
this ain't my
dollars.
first fucking rodeo.
We're not new here.
So
Okay.
they were saying that all of the shots that we saw, everything that we saw, maybe not the pictures, I don't know, but like all of the main video and everything was reproduced here.
Which
Because-
we have fact that they did at some point. Like some
Yes,
of it,
yeah.
they full blown are like, yeah, we recreated here.
Which
'cause
it's
just
happened,
easier.
which
it's
it's
yeah.
which it's happened
exactly.
before, but and exactly, how does the media already have the video? How have they already seen this
Said with
stuff?
the intent of like showing what
Exactly.
we did there.
And it's because the tech of the film cameras we had, they can't get through the like there's a gamma radiation.
Yeah, it was what I was
fucking
trying to
thing
think of
where-
before. I can't.
which
come up
makes
with it.
sense because if you send a memory card through a metal detector, sometimes it'll wipe your memory card and everything will be corrupted. So I assume in space it's 10 times more,
yeah.
and it would happen. But yeah, you can see how fucking
who are looking at them here from the surface of Earth. The
look at this guy.
The flight, as you know, started promptly. And I think that was characteristic of all the events of the flight. The Saturn gave us one magnificent ride. Both
Just does not smile
Into Earth
at
orbit.
all or
Devoid
anything.
of.
and on a
Literally
trajectory
just
to the
someone
moon.
killed his dog.
When he could have just died and he made it
Our-
home to his family and he's alive and everything's good, and then why
Our
isn't he happy?
memory
Daddy's home.
Yeah.
Like,
of that actually differs little from the reports that you have all heard from those
Yeah, everything went
previous
according to
Saturn
plan.
V
Everything.
flights.
Yep.
And those the previous flights served us well in preparation for this flight
I want to hear the fucking the other one.
in the
I'm
boost
trying to
as well
find
as
it.
the
That
subsequent phases.
That's fucking scary. They made a
I'll-
horror movie about that shit. One of the Apollo.
We would
movies.
like to skip directly to the translunar coast.
I tried looking it up, but no, dude, it's fucked up.
That's some scary shit, man.
Isn't that wild? Right?
I mean, I wouldn't.
And it makes you want like, because why haven't we gone back to the moon? Why isn't there? Why wouldn't Elon Musk want a space station on the moon so that he can make it easier to get to Mars? Why do we have the International Space Station when we could just be on the moon? Like, I don't know. Wouldn't it make? I mean, I get like there's probably benefit. I don't know all the bullshit, but I'm sure there's benefits to a space station, like to experiment in, like zero gravity and shit. But like, why is no one go? Like, there's a super there's like a fuel on the moon. I can't remember what it is. I think it's like carbon-3 or cobalt-3 or CO2-3. I don't. There's some type of fuel on the moon that's like readily available there. That's like super efficient, and it's really like why has no one tried to acquire that and like make their, I don't know.
Maybe there's something on the dark side of the moon.
That's what it means. I'm just saying.
I mean,
There's no dark side of the moon, really. Matter of fact, it's all dark.
I feel like that would be
Find
some
it.
scary shit.
All the
that might be-
videos are like too long. I can't really.
Scrub through them.
Yeah.
We'll bring it up next time.
Yeah,
Here, what's
that's
that? What's
what I
that? 16. Oh, they're parked on the side of the crater. They're watching us.
Yeah, that's the one I just.
Is there anything in the comments or anything in like the description breaking it down to where it happened?
You would hope.
Right? No.
You
Try the
would hope.
yeah. No.
Video playlist? No.
Fuckers. You want to scrub through it real quick?
Active layers. There are places to go beyond belief.
Oh, right there where it spikes. What's that?
I've become
back.
furious. I'm a retired command sergeant major.
Yeah.
Out buzz on this. Someday
That's the
if he
guy.
can speak about it.
Yeah.
He will.
Oh, I've seen him before on radio.
Neil Armstrong became somewhat of a recluse after the moon land, working as the chief lunar module test pilot of William Tompkins and Admiral
Try
Larry
the other
Marsh.
spike. I'm sorry.
As a teenager, Tompkins had an eye for detail and love. But according
Why
to
wouldn't people just put the
Brandenburg,
fucking audio in
Clement
here?
Structure. This looked unmistakably artificial.
I
And
don't know.
it should
I'll screen record it from the documentary. They're watching us.
It was, what was the first documentary above Top Secret?
He has what's the screenshot you have? The first documentary was, I'll tell you right now. The first documentary was Above Top Secret, the technology
Yeah.
behind disclosure.
Wicked smart. How do you like that, man?
How you like that? I'm fucking wicked smart, y'all. Yeah, I thought you like screenshotted the. It's like something like the gray or No Face Man and
Yeah.
the gray.
Something like that.
If you check that one out, skipped about 44 minutes.
For real.
44 minutes.
For real.
He starts going on like, that one's wild because that one talks about like,
They did a whole movie talking about how it's a ghost, and then they go show it to people, and everyone's like, bro, that's an alien. So then they make another movie. They're like, so it's an alien.
so we figured it out.
This sounds like an awful movie.
Yeah, no,
Once
like,
they got going.
dead ass. The first half is shitty, but then like once they shift gears and they start talking about like the Nazis in Antarctica. Have you ever seen the Nazi Bell?
What's that?
It's the anti-gravity aircraft thing
Oh, yeah, yeah.
that fucking it's on chains and it's like fucking going. You ever see that shit?
No, I don't think so.
And then fucking
Look up the
we,
Nazi Bell.
then we took all their fucking scientists.
Yeah,
That's the craziest thing.
through
to do.
Operation Paperclip. Yeah, they fucking
They're like, how about you be in charge of NASA? Guy
So-
who built a fucking Nazi spaceship.
So here's another thing. You know when they do you remember the big flyover the White House? All the UFOs, there was like 8 of them. They all went over the White House. Do
Yeah.
you remember that? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So they were saying, I don't know if that happened in the 40s.
The History Channel one.
The fuck?
You see this thingy?
Where's the real footage of it?
I know. Probably suppressed.
Just look it up on Google, see what happens.
Shit's so
See what
dumb.
happens.
Gotta get on DuckDuckGo.
Yeah, I know.
This Nazi shit.
Yeah, it doesn't like
But
that in the
but
search, probably.
But apparently, like the big like,
Let's see.
or I think they flew over the Capitol. The big flyover, that was apparently either the scientists or something. That was them showing off to us, being like, "Don't kill us. Let us fucking help you do this shit." That's what apparently that was. Let me
That's wild.
look up when the Capitol flyover was. Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
The Capitol flyover.
I do believe that Roswell happened, and that they just like that guy holding that shit.
1952. Yeah. 1950. So the war ends, And then in 1952, right before Operation Paperclip, is when that shit happened. Because they were going, all these, they didn't, I guess.
Operation Paperclip happened in 52 or 53?
I don't know. I think so. Let me look it up. Because I know it was after World War II.
I would imagine it'd be like right after, once they fucking like beat them.
When was?
Well, I guess they have to go through like the trials or whatever first, and then.
Not the scientists.
Well, didn't they just get like the fast tracked where it's like?
Oh, that was
Scientists
1945. Never mind. I'm wrong.
Cool.
Scientists, they just kind of brought on over.
MK Ultra was 53.
Like trade.
MK Ultra was 53.
You can put these people on trial.
It's fucked up.
Fucked up, man, I tell you. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Got some
Yeah,
research to do now.
Yeah,
some
dude.
Learning up.
It's been a dark couple weeks. Spit in this fucking hole. Christian, the government. It's all connected.
I gotta look. 'Cause the Federal Reserve was 1913. I thought they were after World War II also.
No, because that was after the Titanic. Remember?
Was it after the Depression? Is that what it was?
No, Depression was in the 30s.
It was after
That was
something.
during,
What
like-
was the catalyst to it? Something happened where people came over. Didn't like Jews or Europeans or something like.
Whoa, let me blame the Jews again.
That's what I threw European in there.
Bro, you know what they showed in that first We'll go back to that. You know what they showed in the first documentary? They showed NASA's cloud machine, which is just some dude showing off this like big ass machine that just like literally just throws these clouds out of this big ass machine, and then he goes, "Yeah, in about a day and a half in Ohio, it's gonna start pouring."
And he ain't wrong.
And he ain't wrong. He goes, see all this water, it's all water vapor. All this goes up into the atmosphere, and then you see all these clouds now? That's all going to end up in Ohio, and it'll be raining about tomorrow. How fucked up is that?
Just for shits and gigs.
And you thought of that.
And they're
when
not
I
even
said-
Jewish.
I was gonna. You thought of that story after I said Jews.
Yeah, and they're not even Jewish.
He's just a white.
So put that in your pipe and smoke it, Kanye.
God damn.
I couldn't find him on Twitter.
Kanye West?
You might have got the boot.
I probably got the boot.
Well, I
We
thought
got to get
Elon
him.
doesn't
We got to
do
get
that.
him low enough to where he can come on this show.
Getting close.
I don't know if I want him on the show, though.
I'd talk to him.
As a call-in.
What if we? Yeah.
You wouldn't want to meet Kanye? That'd be crazy.
Nah.
Get just for the
Take a
photo
like
shoot.
20
I would
Yeah.
just want a selfie with
Yeah.
Kanye now.
Yeah, but he's wearing a fucking ski mask all the time now.
We'll have him
Sure.
put a Make America Great hat
Yeah,
over it.
I'll wear a MAGA hat. I'll
Yeah.
wear my dad's MAGA hat. I bought my dad a MAGA hat for Christmas a few years ago when Trump was running. I fucking get the hat, and there's a tag on the inside, made in China. Isn't that funny?
China.
Isn't that funny?
Did you leave it on there?
Yeah. I think he ripped it off.
I would like a picture with Kanye where I'm wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt and he's wearing a White Lives Matter shirt. I don't think that's too much to ask
Or
for.
an All Lives Matter shirt.
No, remember he
Jews.
came out.
He did? That's right,
Yeah.
Well, Kanye will be on here soon. He did have some. He had a weird.
Listen, he doesn't
weird
need his meds. He's
he had
fine.
a weird request. He wanted to come on in whiteface. So I don't know if we're gonna see that soon or what's
Yeah.
gonna happen. But I don't know. Apparently, I'm gonna be interviewing Kanye in whiteface.
That's
Me
what
and you
word
are.
on the street is.
Yeah.
I can't make it that day.
I think I put a. Can we go in the news thing real quick?
News?
I'm
You
sorry.
got
in,
news?
I might. I don't know. I remember putting some stuff on there, and some might be Kanye related. Now that we're on this. Checking out the notes tab. Think about how organized this will be when we have a studio, boys.
And how's that coming along, Zach?
We measured out the table. Found
Nice,
we got a nice setup going. We're gonna go Rogan style, kinda. With a long table, 2 on one side, 1 on the other.
Jesus, leave something to the imagination. Spell it out for him.
Kanye.
My sister just has shit on
Yeah, I
it.
noticed. Kanye West claims Rosa Parks was a plant.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either. I didn't.
Yeah, like, what are you getting at?
I didn't look into it. The latest discussion at Clubhouse. In the wake of the various anti-Semitic comments from the live stream, the platform has since been suspended. Oh, this isn't even about. All of these heroes,
yeah.
all these heroes, man. How does Kanye sound? Man, all these heroes, man.
Oh.
It's only one. That's Jesus Christ. You're gonna find out something
Who was a
about
Jew.
MLK, something about JFK, something about Malcolm, Rosa Parks. We all know Rosa Parks was a plant.
We all know that.
We all know that. I don't. Elaborate more. Did he ask questions about this?
Is he talking about a physical plants, or is he talking about like someone planted her?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, if someone what do you mean? Like, someone, I don't think you needed a plant to make someone racist, right? Like, wasn't everyone back then just like, yeah, get the fuck to the bang of the, like, you wouldn't need, like, to set up some elaborate, like, scheme. You just, like, walk outside and be like, oh, got it. Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it.
That's fucking.
I don't know what he's,
I just thought it was an interesting little thing here. Look at this.
I put a thing in there.
I saw that. I'm excited now. After being captured by pirates, Julius Caesar insisted the captors demand a higher ransom amount as it was too low for such an important person. He also told the pirates that he would have them crucified. The pirates simply ignored him, thinking he was crazy. However, after the ransom was paid, Caesar was set free and raised a naval fleet, tracked down the pirates, and had them all crucified.
Yo, can I tell you what
Isn't
I
that
was?
wild?
This was what I was trying to
Crazy?
explain to you yesterday, but Grace was around, and I thought I could tweak it enough to where it would still make sense, and it wasn't. I had the thought of, like, I feel like if you murder someone, obviously, there's, like, the things we were talking about last time, where it's like, if a guy, like,
There's
rapes
difference
someone in your
between common
family,
law.
you can murder them, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, all right, like, in Texas, that's fine, you know, like, shit. So there's
Yeah.
that level murder. Then there's murder, which is not okay, and you go to jail for. But I was thinking, there's some people who murder people who are like, this isn't me. It's just the thought. This is a thought
Just say it.
experiment.
Who gives a fuck? If it's
I don't want it to reflect poorly on me.
It
This
might.
is something. It will.
Just say it.
It's. I just thought it was interesting how you could cross a certain moral line of like, I'm gonna take this person's life away, but then not rape them. You know what I mean? Like, you'd feel like there'd be way more like murder rapes. There's some people that like just kill, like serial killers.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're willing to go.
I'll play God and take life away from this person, but
you're willing.
I wouldn't want to like torture that, like put them through that. You know, like if you still like have the I don't know. It's like a.
So you're saying why aren't there more rapist murderers?
I'm just surprised that there. You think once you cross that line, it's like nothing's off the table.
Or do
but
you
you're
think-
like,
Do you think they? I don't know. I guess during an autopsy they would find out if they were. Obviously,
yeah.
That's interesting.
I feel like the urge to murder in most people is much stronger.
So that's
than
what
the
I'm
urge
saying.
To rape.
That's why I'm saying there should be a distinction where, like, if you just had not the first thing, because that's like within the realm of reason. This is still like you can't just kill people, like because you disagreed or whatever. It's still wrong. You still go to
got
jail.
A vendetta.
But you'd think they can't have as harsh a sentence as the guy who's like off the reservation. That's like, oh yeah, I fucking because then it's like. In my head, that goes to, like, the person who's, like, then a cannibal, too, or whatever, where it's like, oh, yeah, like, Dahmer shit.
Yeah.
Like, if it starts to, like, pile up where it's like, yeah, I killed it. Like, why wouldn't I just do it whatever, you know? It's a weird, like, line drawn where, again, I get, like, acts of rage or whatever account for something. You're not thinking, but I just thought it was an interesting thing.
And I think you're a maniac.
I just thought that was a very interesting thing.
I thought that was a thing I would share with my friends.
Speaking of murder,
Yeah, I found this stat.
homicides per city in the United States. Who do you think has the... Oh, I could have called that one. Oh, actually, no, I wouldn't have. I would have thought Milwaukee.
As number one?
Yeah, Milwaukee's a fucked up city, I guess. Milwaukee, like, shit goes down. Look at Milwaukee's
heard of
above Chicago.
I know St. Louis is a shithole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not want
And
to
I know
say
Baltimore's a shithole.
Baltimore.
I know Detroit's a shithole. I did not know New Orleans was
I knew that
bad.
one was a shithole. Where's New Jersey?
Newark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Milwaukee.
Real shithole.
Real shithole.
Chicago, massive shithole.
Man, Oakland? about the Raiders?
So
Yeah, go Raiders.
should we say what's relevant about this list?
Yes.
What kind of mayors have they all had?
Wow.
That's really funny.
It's a major city, of course.
All right,
it's
so
gonna have a
Zach,
Democratic major.
Zach has put
That
a
is fair.
Zach,
That's a good.
say that again.
They're major cities, of course. It's good to have Democratic mayors.
It's a good confounding variable.
That is, yeah. And also, obviously, homicide rates would be up because there's more people.
That's what I'm saying. That's a good
in a
overlap.
denser area.
I saw a thing in Alabama, I guess, from like
Pittsburgh at
a
14.
gazillion years ago when like there was an ocean shore to Alabama. It did something to like a stretch of soil that runs through it. So all like the biggest farms were down there. So then all like the biggest plantations were down there. And then when the slaves got freed, that became like all the black areas, I guess. So now like you can literally trace why like which districts vote which way back to that. Because it's like just a strip of blue where like black people vote democratically and then like Alabama white people sandwiching them on either side. It was like, because usually you can pick it out by like, oh, that's like the city as the blue. It was
That's
interesting
The
where it was like,
gerrymandering
Yeah,
of the
because-
fucking
right.
lines.
because they don't have like an actual city, Alabama.
I think they had like Montgomery as their blue dot, and then they just had like a blue stretch.
Interesting. That's wild.
Gerrymandering.
That's really wild.
Jerry,
You brought up farms and food, and like with the rise of food now in grocery stores, I'm sure you've noticed.
$5 for a carton of eggs, brother.
It's fucked up.
$5 for a carton of goddamn eggs.
I'm just trying to get my protein.
Christian's mom paid $12 for 18.
It's
fucked up, but-
ridiculous.
This is Biden's America,
But
folks.
I read a thing, and it's a little fucked up. I haven't dove into it too much yet, but I read a thing where, obviously, I hear bird flu's up, and that's why the eggs are going up, but whatever. But every week, every few days, another major food plant has been burned down. Purdue's big plant burned down. All these farms around the U.S. are burning down. All these people's fucking crops are getting burned down.
It's so crazy to think that we live in the Kali Yuga, the worst of times.
Isn't that crazy?
I did not hear about this.
We're in the
This is
fourth Hindu
madness.
time cycle. This is
So
the
I
worst
haven't-
of times.
I haven't looked into this too much, but yeah, apparently like every few days or week or so, another big like major food.
Oh, the same way every few
distribution
days a
place
fucking
burns down.
athlete dies of like heart failure somehow.
Yeah.
There's some article out on like some major website where it's like, parents, what to do if your kid plays sports? Like what's warning signs of cardiac arrest should you look out for? Like, you shouldn't.
They got a sports physical.
Yeah, what the fuck are we talking about? If they don't have like a heart arrhythmia, they're fine.
Yeah.
You see all that shit? Like just professional
That one-
athletes just drop dead
that
of like
one-
heart failure.
That one kid.
No.
That one.
It's like
I saw
a
the-
streak of these.
That one kid was just playing. It happened, I think, last week or the week before. Some kid was playing football for his school, and he gets tackled. And he just went down. His fucking heart stopped.
Well, football could do that also.
Well, that's what I was thinking
Yeah.
of. The shit last week with fucking the one.
I was gonna say that.
But it goes back to the thing. Why wasn't this noticed in a sports physical? What's the point of a sports physical if you're not screening for this shit?
Have you ever had a sports physical?
No, I didn't
Yeah,
play
that's an
sports.
excuse to fucking have some guy grab your nuts and tell you to cough.
That's what I mean.
They're not fucking doing shit during a
I'm d-
sports physical.
Well,
They're
that-
like, you're
maybe there's a
16,
bigger
they
issue there.
slap you on the fucking ass and say, get out of here.
I do think like that. I mean, I don't know enough about it to like speak to it fully, but I do think that like hormones in the food probably really fucked us up. Because if you look
Yeah.
at like
Hormones and the chemicals
I
and
saw
shit?
a.
Yeah.
I saw.
Like,
I saw.
autism and those types of things are so much more prevalent. Like they weren't really a thing back then. And then like I feel like people are just like physically not as sturdy. Like
I saw two maps. It was one map was the countries who put fluoride in their water, and it was all blown up. It was like the U.S., the U.K. outlawed it, and all these other countries in Europe outlawed
I do
it.
give Europe that they're on that shit.
There's
Yes.
there's one country in Africa that does it, and then there's like parts of Asia that do it. And then they put another map over that of the highest deaths with Alzheimer's and dementia. And the same countries are all lit up. Exact same ones.
Calcifies your pineal gland.
The exact same ones are all lit up. So if it calcifies your pineal gland, what else is it calcifying? That's why I don't drink tap water. Go fuck yourself.
By the time I
you
learned
drink
that,
Aquafina.
I was so in deep. I was like, I think it's pretty well dried up. It's probably not
Yeah.
worth.
That's upsetting because I prefer tap water.
I know.
It's-
I thought
it's
I was
upsetting.
being frugal. I thought I was
Yeah.
being correct.
I think it just tastes better, I'll be honest.
I don't think so.
Most of the time,
I
yes.
think that's bullshit. Have you ever had a good Fiji water?
No.
Fiji
They're good.
is
Good.
very good. That's
It's crisp.
that's-
It's crisp as a mofo.
Take your word for it.
You want to see the scariest thing I've ever seen in my entire life?
run it.
Be a good ender for the pod.
And
That
then
was
on a
spooky.
bang.
There are more than 100,000 combined average annual.
And this
Oh my
wild-
god,
Look
that's
how-
terrifying.
Look how crazy this thing is.
I like how the guys have their fucking faces blurred out.
Black Mirror shit.
Yeah, watch.
They're the contractors. This thing's gonna turn around and shoot you, bro.
I know. Jesus.
Yeah, watch.
It does feel kind of mean. I don't know if I've just watched too
This
much
is terrible.
anime and cartoons and shit.
All right, is this real?
Yeah, watch.
Is this made with Blender or something?
Fuck. Holy shit.
Goddamn.
What the fuck? I don't even know what the fuck is happening right now.
Yeah. It's the fucking scariest thing you've ever seen in your goddamn life, is what it is.
You have a nunchuck?
That's a person next to a mannequin. Knows the difference.
Do you have a nunchuck though?
Yeah,
Oh, it's got a sock.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Rocket or
what?
something.
What an odd choice.
What?
Holy God. Ah.
Fuck! How quick that decision is.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. I can't watch. I'm sorry they're making me.
So it's fake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know when you figure that out, but I watched
When the bees.
the bees is when I figured it out too. The first half, I was freaking out. I was like,
Well, some of it looks goofy, but so does that regular Boston Dynamics one because it's so like
Yeah.
off-putting, you know. So it's hard to tell.
wasn't the beginning though? Were you like, how fucking crazy was that? On the back, flip around. Psh.
Madness.
Yeah.
Not too far off.
Yeah, no, it was fucked up. I was watching this shit at home.
No,
It was
we're
like-
actually very close to that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. Like we watched the video on the Atlas robot. Like that was the same thing. It's like, what if they just programmed it to hold a gun? Like, it's scary.
I didn't like all that shit when people were saying like, they're being mean to the Boston Dynamics robots. It's like racist to robots. I found all that very lame. And then I immediately found myself being like, I don't care for this, how they're treating this robot.
No, yeah.
Well,
No, honestly, like, what's his face? Elon Musk released that statement. You shouldn't be mean to robots. It's like, nah, they're probably gonna take over. Whether that be like individual, like sentient robots, or one complete sentient robot that just has a million of itself.
I mean, they're working on the AIs that with conscious and shit. So I mean, before you know, well, that's what's released to us.
When they think they're doing like a fun morning news segment, they're like, we have AI in here to talk. They're like, we will destroy humans. And they're like, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you ever see any of those?
No,
Oh, there's a few of them.
that's fucking crazy. We will destroy humans.
Like, you would be obsolete.
We were watching the AI shit, and Christian was getting a little worried. She was like, "This is kind of scary." I'm like,
you do this to her?
she's interested. She's like, "Let's watch another Tubi documentary."
Really?
And I'm
Oh
like,
my god!
I'm
No,
like,
I said, I feel like when we talk about it, you can see her
Oh.
like not enjoying.
no. She goes like, she'll be like, we watching Ancient Alien. What are we watching?
Ancient Aliens is one thing.
Ancient Aliens is a lane. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's start going down. For normal people, start with HBO docs about government and shit like that. You can't jump right to Tubi. It's like jumping to a fisting
No,
video
yeah, exactly.
when you're young. It's like jumping to a fisting. Everything
Yeah.
else before that is going to be bullshit.
And then you're not even gonna want to look into anything else.
No, that's
because
it.
you're gonna think it's all like that.
No, it's all. It's gonna stop there. You're gonna realize that we are in a shell of a system, much like the Matrix, and what is happening on the outside, we cannot control.
I can't control anything. And once
Stone
I
Day
realize that,
podcast.
maybe I'll be happy.
I don't know.
Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been on for almost an hour and a half. It's been real. Normal bullshit. Like, subscribe, TikTok, Twitter, MMA. Normal shit. You fuckers take care.
Yes.